right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I pray from the bottom of my heart that everybody is super blessed. As Bitcoin is potentially, are we potentially getting a bit of a bounce here, guys? Are we potentially getting a bit of a bounce? All right, it's been a very eventful day, guys. I was just literally watching a press conference with Presidente Trumpa, and man, literally, it was about health and about drugs. And this guy like has a stroke in the middle of the thing, and they cut it off. You know, it was quite interesting. You can't even make this stuff up, man. You can't even make this stuff up. RFK said America's gonna lose billions of pounds before midterms, guys. We're gonna lose pounds. Man, I hope I don't lose pounds. I'm trying to gain the pounds, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could take your Ozempic and all this other stuff. Y'all could stop eating your Red 40 on your Fruit Loops and all this stuff. But hopefully I'm not losing billions of pounds. Alright, baby? Now, where were we? Yes. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, guys. We need to talk about the corn. We need to talk about the Bitcoin. We need to talk about what is happening. We've had a very interesting, eventful few days. Now, first of all, guys, there are two very important things that we need to be looking at right now on the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to put two lines on the chart. Make sure to smash the likes. We get 1,000 likes in the first half hour. We're going to give away 1,000 smackaronis. That's another word for dollars. All right, I'm going to put the two very important lines on the chart right here. But look, you know, we have some interesting things happening. First of all, we've seen Ethereum get a little bounce. It's funny how everyone's so excited about the bounce after such a big drop. But we've seen Ethereum get a very significant bounce, closing candle above key level. All right. We've seen XRP also dip below key support, the key line, $2.19, close the daily candle above. All right. We have seen some significant things on the charts. All right. Bitcoin, XRP, Solana rise. All right. People, you know, what's interesting today is in the news, we're seeing things like this. Apparently, more than half of hedge funds are invested in crypto, says a global survey. All right. This is quite interesting, right? We got some bullish news coming out here in the midst of a dump. All right. We got some bullish news. More than half of hedge funds are invested in crypto. We've seen altcoins get a little bit of a bounce. You know what I'm saying? Is this a start of a bigger bounce? That's the real question. We're going to talk about it. All right. Now, honestly, the fact that more than half of hedge funds are invested in crypto, this could be a game changer. We've been talking about the possibility of a 4-year market cycle coming to an end. And honestly, you could already make the case the 4-year cycle is broken because of the all-time high pre-halving. The fact that more than half of hedge funds are investing in crypto, that is quite significant. It's up 47% in a year, with the funds averaging 7% of the allocation toward crypto holdings. This is a survey of 122 investors and fund managers. Very interesting. This is very interesting. We are seeing big money in crypto, and historically we know it's the time for the bear market to come. The question is, are we going to see something different? All right. I was watching a video from one of my favorite YouTubers, Crypto. He was talking about the Pi cycle indicator, showing that there's still potentially a lot of upside here. Now, I want to take a look at this Bitcoin chart here, because right now what has happened yesterday is this. We came down and we basically dipped below the low from the October 10th wick. If you remember the October 10th wick, let me know in the dang chat. All right. Remember, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes in half an hour, we'll give away $1,000. All right. We have like literally 2 people watching the stream right now. If everybody likes the stream 500 times, we'll be able to do the $1,000 giveaway. All right. We have 2 people in the live chat. If both of you like the stream 500 times, we will, well, be giving away $1,000. All right. I like Crypto, man. He does fitness content nowadays. I don't think Crypto's a crook at all. How is he a crook? How in the world Crypto crook? Dude just is super rich and enters these like super low leverage swing trades with millions of dollars. How does that make him a crook? Shout out to MM Crypto, by the way. You know, I feel like me and MM Crypto are related. You know, me and MM Crypto, I feel like we're related. We have the same haircut. Look, I got the MM Crypto haircut, except his is a super fancy Dubai professional haircut. Mine, I do it myself with the weed whacker. You can tell I do it myself with the weed whacker. Look at this, man. Oh my goodness. Man, Jason. Me and MM Crypto, man, we both have that Nordic stock. You know what I'm talking about? That light-skinned, blue-eyed Nordic look to us. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing with Bitcoin, okay? We took the October 10th wick, and then we closed yesterday's daily candle back above the level. Okay, and right now, potentially, we're forming a nice low here. All right, potentially right now, we are forming a nice low right here. The reason I say that is because if we go to the 4-hour time frame, and we take a look at literally what's happening now, from the low that we made 2 days ago, the fake out of $100,000, we take our fib from the low to the high, and we are currently right now bouncing from the zone between the golden pocket and the 786 as we speak. We're getting a little bit of bounce from the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. Now, again, this could be, like, I'm not saying it is, but this could be literally, you know, a fake out of the October 10th low. We come back up, we reject from the 4-hour order block, we make a higher low, and then we continue up a little bit here. This could be that, okay? This could be that. The reason I say is because we have a clearly defined sideways range right here. This being the clearly defined low of the range, this being the clearly defined high of the range. We could potentially see a move right back up to $117,000 right now, where we either see another rejection or continued upside, okay? This is a possibility right now. Now let's do some top-down analysis and take a look at our oscillators to see, well, how probable is this? Well, we're going to start on the daily time frame. All right, let's put on market cipher B. Well, what do we see? Do we see bullish divergences? We don't see any bullish divergences within this local range here, okay? So within the range right here, the answer is no negatory. Zip zero, no bullish divergences right here. Okay, if it don't say any bullish divergences right here, no. Okay, if we take it from this low, then yeah, we do have bullish divergences with the candle body closes as well. But it's unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed bullish divergence. Right, again, bullish divergence, momentum gets higher as the price gets lower. So it's unconfirmed. If we spend any more time down below here, they will be invalidated. Okay? So there is a small chance here that we do see a nice bottom form. What do I mean by a nice bottom? I'll tell you what I mean by a nice bottom. All right, a nice bottom is this. It's harder to, let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour. The nice bottom is this, right? We come down, we make a little bit of a low right here. Then we make a lower low. Then we make a higher low. We've got like an inverted head and shoulders. By the time we get to the daily candle chart, all right, the daily candle chart, that's really where we can see it, right? We're forming that nice kind of low right here, all right? Now, we need to see today's daily candle close above 102.157 for this potentiality to even be a confirmed thing, all right? If we don't, then we're going for the low at 98.182. All right, we're going to go for that low at 98.182. And then we're looking back at this sideways range over here, where we've got our clearly defined high right around up here, and we've got our clearly defined low right around here. And this is really where we need to see a bounce, right? We need to see a bounce from the low of this local range. Otherwise, we are really breaking market structure big time on these high time frames. This low at $98,000 is also just above our Fibonacci golden pocket, all right, coming in around 94, as well as the high volume node coming in right around 96. All right, as well as the value area low of the range coming in around 92, as well as if we take a anchored VWAP from the low of the August 2024 low, you're seeing all the confluence is right there, all right? This is where Bitcoin must bounce. If we're not going to bounce from here and get a fake out of the October 10th wick, then this is where we must bounce. And if we don't bounce from this green box I've drawn in the chart, well, I become quite pessimistic about further upside. Big time. I would expect we enter into a year-long bear market. All right? But we don't have to worry about that quite yet. We don't have to worry about that quite yet because right now, as we speak, all right, let's see, as we speak, we're trying to get a bounce. We're bouncing from that Fibonacci golden pocket. I'm in a little bit of a long scalp here, okay? And maybe this could turn into something big, all right? Maybe this could turn into something big, all right? Taking some longs from this area here. Maybe it could turn into something big. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it could turn into something big, baby. But we're going to have to wait and see. We haven't seen much of a bounce yet, all right? Yet. It's not looking the best here on the 6 minute. We have some very weak looking action here. This looks like a bear flag on the 6 minute. Looks like I'm about to get wrecked. Looks like I'm literally about to get wrecked. We got ourselves a bear flag here. Looks like I'm about to lose everything. Honestly. Sheesh. Jason, you are dropping the ball, man. You are dropping the ball. You know? We got to give a major shout out to the super chat in the house. First of all, we got to give a major shout out to Jason Casper. He says, Jason, you're the best, smartest, sexiest, most amazing YouTuber ever. I love you. You're so smart. But most of all, you're super humble. Why, thank you, Jason. I am humble, aren't I? Yeah, I'd have to say I'm literally the humblest guy here on YouTube. I mean, I am so dang humble. You know, it's not every day you see somebody as smart, as good looking, who has a nice haircut as me. You know, who's also this humble. You know what I'm saying? He says, make sure to smash the likes, guys. Let's get that $1,000 giveaway. We have 900 people in the house, and we only have 300 likes. Man, I think everyone should like the dang stream. Also, guys, remember, KCEX, the best deal on fees, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. Look, I opened a $100,000 position here. It only cost me $10 in fees. Look at this. This giant short trade, all right? This giant short trade here on Bitcoin, which made me $20,000 US dollars. It only cost me $70. $70 in fees. I mean, KCEX, man, can't go wrong. Also, good old BLOFIN's giving you away lots of cool stuff to trade on the platform, all right? Good old BLOFIN, man. Can't go wrong with BLOFIN, all right? Good old BLOFI, all right? Also, guys, if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com. All right, let's go ahead and, I've got to go ahead and see if I can, got to put some stop losses in place here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hate getting wrecked with that stop loss. All right, so that's primarily the deal with Bitcoin. One thing I would say is this, guys. All right. One thing I would say is this. We'll go to our 4 hour here. Yeah, the truth is, like, so with the bounce from under $100,000, we did find a little bit of resistance, like right here at 104.4. And so really, I mean, this is a very, let's just put it this way. The long trade I'm in right now is quite aggressive because we are not even close to value area low, and we're rejecting from literally this last support resistance flip right here. Okay, so again, I'm long, but it's quite aggressive. All right, it is quite aggressive, and we do have a very major support down below us as well, which is more likely to get a bounce. Okay, again, with the Bitcoin, guys, I'm still gonna hold to it that I think we're in for a big pullback in 2026. I'm expecting at least a 50% pullback. I myself am mostly out of my spot, looking to buy if we dip down 50% or lower. Yeah, looking to DCA at some lower prices. And again, the reason for that is we have 2-month confirmed bearish divergences. All right, we go to the 2-month time frame, confirmed 2-month with that October candle close. We actually so far have formed a really nice high on the 2-month time frame. You can see this nice curve here that we have formed like this, if this monthly candle, this 2 monthly candle, even if we wick back up, actually it'll be even much nicer if we wick back up to $117,000, $118,000 and close it below 103. It would just look like a very nice high here with a confirmed 2-month bearish divergence. The monthly time frame has a bearish divergence as well, confirmed. And you know, depending on this monthly candle close here for November, you know, remember, if we're closing the monthly below 108, that is like not the best look there on the monthly time frame. All right. Now, again, you might say, Jason, what's the difference between this and this back here, where we also had a nice looking high with a bear div? The thing with this is it's a second drive of bear div on the monthly, and it's a confirmed bear div on the 2 monthly. And historically speaking, the bear div on the 2 monthly means we're heading into some bearish times. The last time we had the bear div on the monthly, that was pretty much the top, you know? That was pretty much the top. It led to a year of downside, all right? Let's check out Ethereum here. Ethereum, we're also going to start on the 2 monthly. Now, I have some bad news on the 2 monthly, which is this. ETH, if we close out all our drawings here, unfortunately, and I don't want to be bearish, guys. Here's the thing. I'm heavily invested in a lot of altcoins, okay? So I don't want to be bearish on ETH. I don't want to be bearish on Bitcoin. I don't. But I'm not going to like be in denial about the fact that the chart made a higher high, and depending on what happens the rest of 2025, we might actually print a bearish divergence on the 2 monthly time frame. All right. Also, I don't want to be that guy, but on the monthly time frame, it just doesn't look so great here. We've literally got bear div from 2021 until our present day, and sadly we have bear div from March until our present day. And it's not confirmed yet on the monthly here. It will be at the end of November. So if November's a bearish month, we're going to have multiple drive of confirmed bear div on ETH, okay? Again, I don't want to be bearish, but the chart doesn't look so bullish to me, okay? Here's something else we need to be really paying attention to on ETH right now, which is this, guys. $3,300 ETH. $3,300 ETH. Why is that such a key level? If we take all the volume from February 2024 to our present day, you can see this is the high volume node of all of that price action. All right, almost a year of price action. In fact, let's take it back even farther. Let's take it back to the day that Trump won the election. All right. Okay. This is the high volume node from the day Trump won the election at 2,500. All right. From the time that we come up in this February high, our high volume node is right here at $3,300. What does this mean? This means if we cannot hold this level at $3,300, we are getting a fake out of this massive trend line going all the way back to 2021. A big old failed auction here. A big old breakout backtest higher high just to grind down and lose this level. Not good. And then we'll probably get vacuum sucked down to around $2,600 to $2,800 ETH, which is our next support resistance level at the value area low of that range. All right, if we take it back to November 2024 when Trump wins the election, you could see that's also the high volume node of that level there. All right, that's going to be our next major zone. And look, I'm trying to be objective here. When you have high time frame bearish divergences, you have to think to yourself, if we're losing major support with high time frame bearish divs, more downside is probable. So we would expect 26 to 2800. If we can't hold this, we would have to expect us to come back down to our next major support resistance flip, which is the bear market resistance, the bull market support, the value area low of the range at around $2,000 ETH. Okay? That's going to be our next major target. Now, again, I know not everyone's favorite thing to hear. It's not my favorite thing to hear, guys, because I bought ETH back in November 2022. All right, so I'm getting into ETH right around, literally right around 1,300. I held it all the way up. I held it all the way back down to my entry point. I held it all the way up to a new all-time high. And now I might hold it all the way back down again. All right, like literally. This is the definition of flopping and groping. But I will say this, okay? Clear off all the noise. Clear off all the noise. Ethereum is not a bearish asset. All right? Ethereum is not a bearish asset. So eventually it's going to pump. It might just take us 20 million years. All right? But, you know, you can see this is the range. And the trend is up, guys. Like, in general, the trend is up. So do I think ETH is going to go back down to zero? No. I don't. Even if we have to hold it through the pain, even if we have to come all the way down, God forbid, to $800. All right? Eventually, right? So all this to say, my plan for all my altcoin spot bags I've been holding since 2022 is to do nothing. I haven't sold, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out. All right? I'm gonna wait it out. Now, technically, right now, I could sell my ETH in profit, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather hold it. All right? My own personal desire is to sell ETH above $5,000. Right? That's my personal desire. So I'm not gonna sell my ETH if we're dropping back down. I'm not gonna sell the ETH that I bought down here in November 2022. All right? I'm not gonna sell it for a dang 90% gain. That's not why I bought that ETH. I bought that ETH to sell it at like 300 or honestly 500%. That's what I'm really looking for. And it will happen eventually. All right, it will happen eventually. ETH is not a bearish asset. I'm sorry. All right, these other altcoins, these other idiot coins that people buy, those might go to zero. But Ethereum is not going to go to zero. All right? But the main level we need to hold is 3,300. If we can start to close this candle above 3,300, well, now look at what that's going to do on the chart. All right, that's going to give us a really nice low, right? We had a double bottom right here. We made the low on August 4th. We made the low on October 10th. And so now we would have ourselves a nice fake out of that and a reclaim. And then we could look to come back up towards the top of this range, which is really going to give us new all-time highs on ETH, right? All this noise aside here with this green trend line, this is our sideways range here, right? High at around 4,800, all right? Low at around 3,300. And so we can come back up here, then I'd say it's likely, it's actually probable that we could see a squeeze because all of this, guys, right, is just liquidity waiting to be squeezed. Like this disgusting looking price action here. If we can come back above 3,300 and hold, we're asking for a short squeeze here, right? You can't just do something like this and then come back into the range and expect that we're not, once we start to take this liquidity, it's going to be a fast squeeze up to above $5,000, all right? So this is such a key level. Bitcoin's at a key level. Ethereum is at a key level. You know what else is at a key level right now is XRP. Because XRP, if we don't even include the October 10th wick here, XRP is chopping around this POC, forming a little bit of a range here. All right? Now what happened is, Tuesday and Wednesday, we came down below this level of $2.19. We got a nice daily candle close above. So again, just like Bitcoin, just like ETH, potentially now we're coming for a retest. And if we start to hold that level, well, then I'd say there's no reason why we can't come to the high of the range, right? We came to the low of the range. We took the liquidity. There's no reason why now we can't see $2.70 on XRP, right? Coming back up towards the value area high of this range at around $2.80. Now, just like ETH right now, XRP does have these lower highs at the top, right? We do have this kind of thing going on here, all right? And so when you have this kind of thing going on, it is pretty easy to start to see a big short squeeze, you know? So this is the humble beginnings of what could turn into something large. All right, we need to identify that this could be the beginning of something big. Is it super probable at the moment? No, because we haven't seen any real signs of strength. But I think today's daily candle will give us a bit of clarity here, right? Even XRP could print a bullish div on the daily here if we hold $2.19, right? Let's check out Solana. You know, Solana, look at Solana as well. We took the October 10th wick. We took that October 10th wick. We got basically like some liquidity taken down there. We got a close above. Same deal, right? This could be the beginning of something big. We came to fill these wicks. This is XRP didn't fill the wick, but ETH filled the wick. Bitcoin filled the wick. This is a pretty serious zone right now for all these assets because we are at key support. We've come down to fill that October 10th scam wick on many exchanges. And now it's really, are we going to hold? And if we are pretty set up on a lot of these for big short squeezes. Look at Solana as well. All right, Solana, we had this channel here. If we can come back inside the channel, that would look really nice. How often do we see crypto form a channel like this? We get a fake out to the downside, and then we actually see it play out, right? All the time. This is one of crypto's favorite patterns. Form a bullish falling wedge, fake out, everyone loses hope, and then boom, we're back inside, bam, right? Again, this is potentially the beginning of something large, okay? Large to the upside. If we're not going to see these key levels hold, well, then we look to the supports below on all these assets, all right? On all these assets, we got to look for supports below. If Bitcoin doesn't hold our current low, then we're looking for our next box right here, man. And if this doesn't hold, we're going down to the 70s. Mid 65 to 75K is my target if this box does not hold, right? That would be pretty intense for Bitcoin, but that would be our next major support there, you know, sadly. And the reason why I say that, again, guys, is because we're looking for the sideways range, right? We're always looking for the sideways range to trade. So if we break down from one range, then we're in the next range. So right now, what's our range? Right now, this is our range here, okay? We're watching what's happening at the fake out of this range. We're saying, look, there's a chance this is a fake out, and this is now going to be a higher low, and then we come back inside the range, right? If that doesn't happen, then guess what? This is no longer the range we're trading now. Now, we're trading this range, where the low is around 96, and the high is around 125, right? So that's the next support that we look for. We say, okay, sideways range, we come down to support. If we get a fake out and we're back inside the range, then we have valid reasons to think, okay, we could come back to the high. But if we don't hold that, then guess what? Then the range we're looking to trade is going to be this one, with the low at around 74,000 and the high at around 125,000, right? Do you see how this is a clear support resistance flip? Literally, we could put all the way back to, 2021, It's a rough zone. That's why I say 65 to 75. 65 to 75K. But this would be the next sideways range where we literally look to come down and take April's low. And then we would look for the fake out and the reclaim. And then we could say, all right, maybe now we're back in the bull run. Right? By the way, if you want to learn how to trade, check out Jason Casper's YouTube channel. If you go to Jason Casper's YouTube channel, right? Check it out. He has, under playlists, a free trading course. Wow. Totally free, 18 sessions. All right, plus a little video in here called Healing Scriptures from God to Us. Who doesn't like healing scriptures from God to us? But also there's 18 sessions on how to trade. And look, I'm even wearing this questionable pink stringer. Is that a stringer? What is that? Is that a bra? I don't know. I mean, how in the world could you not be satisfied if this man right here was your instructor? I mean, look at this face. Let's just take a quick look at that. I mean, when I see this, I don't know what you guys see here, but I just see, wow. I'm just blown away, honestly. I'm blown away by what I see right now. I am blown away, absolutely. All right, let's take a look. I want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to take a look at altcoin dominance here as we're seeing this move, right? As we're seeing the move here. Let's see here. Man, we're struggling, man. Bitcoin's got the strugs right now. She is struggling hard, baby. Bitcoin's got the strugs. All right, Bitcoin's got the strugs. Oh man, we got the strugs. Let's check out the order flow here. Oh no, bearish CVD on the 1 minute. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. We got a little bit of bearish CVD on the 1 minute here, guys. Nothing crazy to write home about. Let's zoom out to the 30-minute time frame here. Ah, we don't even have bullish CVD on the 30-minute time frame. What is this nonsense? Decrease of OI. We need a short squeeze, baby. We need a squeeze. All right, we need a squeeze. You guys ever need a squeeze? Give me extra cheese. Put you in the SUV. All right, let's check out BTC.D up in here. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Wow. Unexpected. But would you look at this, guys? Bitcoin dominance doing something quite amazing here. You know what's crazy? November 4th. When was that? Was that Tuesday? I didn't even know what day it was this morning. I had no idea. I woke up. I thought, is today Monday? Or is it Friday? that was literally my question. Me and my wife, we were both trying to figure out. We're like, is it Monday or Friday? And then we realized we were both wrong. Shout out to Crazy Waffles 5150. How come you don't go by the 103K moving average? The 103K moving average? Crazy Waffles 5150. I'm not sure what you mean, bro. I wish I did know what you mean. Thank you so much for the super chat. You know what's interesting about Bitcoin dominance is we had this like bearish looking channel, but now we're getting a breakout and a back test. This is actually not the best thing for altcoins, really. This is showing us that we could see Bitcoin really outperform altcoins, breaking out and back testing this channel here. We're going to ignore the October 10th wick where everyone FOMO'd back into Bitcoin. Look at that. Everyone FOMO'd back into Bitcoin. Altcoins going to zero. Everyone's like, all right, I'm back. I'm going, putting my money back in the king, baby. The king of crypto. Look at that. So crazy. In one day, we saw Bitcoin dominance open up at 59%, and it went up to 63%. That's pretty crazy. Overall, that's a 7% move on the day. But yeah, I would really be watching this here, because if we hold above this trend line, this clearly defined trend line right here, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps. We could see Bitcoin outperform altcoins in the rest of 2025. All right, let's go to our weekly. You know, I hate to be that guy here, but the weekly has more juice to the upside, you know? Let's go to our 3-day. 3-day getting a money flow cross. You know, I don't really necessarily like this because I want altcoins to pump, but the money flow looking good. You know, the only hope we would have for an altcoin big pump would be, first of all, Bitcoin needs to hold its current support, but secondly, we need to see us come back into the channel and potentially lose it to the downside and see Bitcoin get another drop in dominance and take the low that we made here in September, around 57%, you know? That could see altcoins get another pump, because remember, Bitcoin dominance is inversely correlated to the altcoins, right? When people are taking their crypto money and putting it into Bitcoin, they're taking it out of altcoins. So we're going to see altcoins underperform Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin dominance increases, you know, Bitcoin outperforms the altcoins with the gains, all right? So really keep your eyes on this. This is the daily time frame. Let's check out altcoin dominance. We're going to look at total 3. All right, crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum here. And I would say this, man, the last few days, altcoin dominance doing something very similar to what we're seeing all these altcoins do, which is, you know, when we go to the weekly with total 3, you can see that we're trading in this quite large parallel ascending channel here, going back to basically the beginning of the bull market here, guys. The beginning of the bull market. And yeah, we were supposed to get our move up to the top of the trend line, right? We were supposed to see altcoin market cap at 1.7 trillion. right? We were supposed to see that. July, August, we were getting super bullish. At least I was. It lined up. Everything was lining up for the fall pump, right, in November. But instead, what did we see? The opposite of what we wanted. We are still holding this support, but if we go to the daily time frame, we can see that we are struggling with this trend line, the bottom of the channel here. This diagonal line, this is the bottom of the channel. We're unable to close the daily candle below. Then we got a daily candle close above. It looks like right now we're coming back for the back test. We're coming back down for the back test. So let's see what happens here as we come back down for the back test. You know, what the heck? Oh yeah. See what happens here as we come back down for the back test. Hang on, I have an iPad set up here with my charts, my trades, so I can keep track of stuff here. Yeah, if we can hold this trend line, and if Bitcoin dominance can lose its trend line, then things would be looking good for altcoins getting a move. Getting a move, all right? Quite interesting. Let's see how the stock market's doing today. You know, this is wild, but, you know, it's been a very bearish week overall. S&P 500 right now on the week, not only did we gap to the downside on that open there, but let's see on the week. Since last week's high, we're currently down 2.6%. The weekly low down 3%. Let's check out NQ, NASDAQ. Also, look at that bearish week. Potentially, we have 1 day left before we close a bearish engulfing on NASDAQ. Bearish engulfing on S&P 500. The dollar with a shooting star on the weekly, having taken the liquidity. Everything is just bearish right now. When stocks, dollar, and crypto is bearish, man. Gold even, you know, with a purple doji on the week. But again, we were expecting this breakdown, should I say, of this parabola on gold. It's unsustainable, right? You can't just expect that gold's going to continue up forever like this, and you're not going to have some serious pain after. This is a classic blow off top. This is the weekly time frame for gold. It's a classic blow off top pattern here on the weekly, where the candles just get bigger and bigger and bigger each week. You would expect a bit of a pullback here on gold. All things considered, gold is having the best week compared to everything else. Gold is just consolidating here. It would appears to be a bit of a bear flag, right? We do have a bullish green dot on the daily time frame. So let's go ahead and pull a fib from the low of this parabola to the high. All right, so we come down to about the 50% retracement from the bottom of the parabola to the high. What would be really nice is if gold dips down just a little bit more with some bullish divergence here on the daily. That could actually look really nice for gold. Make a lower low. We have the daily order block right here at the Fibonacci golden pocket. That could be a nice lower time frame kind of signal here on gold. When I say lower time frame, I'm talking on the daily. But I mean, honestly, for gold, the daily is a low time frame. I mean, you know, you could go to gold, and gold's been a thing forever, right? Look at this chart. And we can go all the way back to the 30s, you know? Is that the 1800s? Yeah, that's the 1800s. That is crazy. Yeah, that's the 1800s. Wow. Yeah, we can take this thing all the way back to 1833. Man, I remember this like it was yesterday, guys. Remember this? I remember it like it was yesterday. This is a 2-month time frame in 1833. Man, I remember I longed the exact bottom right here, and I shorted the exact top right here, man. I longed the bottom right here. I shorted the exact top right here. I ended up with a break even, to be honest with you. Because when you're not on a fiat currency that's not backed by anything, guess what? The price of gold doesn't move. But as soon as you end up with some phony Federal Reserve nonsense, you know, then that's immediately where things go crazy. You know, and then once you're fully off the gold standard in 1971, then it's just runaway inflation. Just runaway inflation, man. 1971, completely off the gold standard. You know, before that, in 1913, you had yourself the Federal Reserve came into being in 1913. Then after the Great Depression, you see there's a little bit of decoupling here. Once you're allowed to print fiat currency, there's a little bit of a decoupling. The price of gold goes up, but still is on gold standard, right? It still is on a gold standard to some degree. And it stays steady. And then as soon as we're totally off the gold standard, boom, runaway inflation, you know? Oh my goodness, that is crazy. That is nuts. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my man, Stochastic RSI, Masto RSI on weekly, looking to cross bullish. Stoke RSI. Are we talking, for what are we talking? Let's check out gold Stochastic RSI. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, we can't be talking about gold. We're talking about Bitcoin. Look at that, the weekly Stochastic RSI about to cross bullish on Bitcoin. I do see that. It did cross bullish here. Look at this. Do we have a bullish divergence on the Stochastic RSI? We might! Man, this is such a key level for Bitcoin. Thank you for bringing this up. So we do have a potential bullish divergence on the Stochastic RSI, which means this, guys. I mean, really, if we can hold this level, if we can hold the level and Bitcoin gives us all base and no treble, if we can hold the level and Bitcoin gives us all base and no treble, we might actually confirm a bullish divergence on the Stochastic RSI on the weekly. That would be quite interesting. That would be quite interesting. Man. Let's see, like, the last time we had a bull div on the Stochastic RSI was actually the exact bottom of the bear market. I would have to lean more bearish on this, I'll be honest with you. I don't usually trade with the Stochastic RSI. I trust my market cipher, but if we get that cross, if we do get that cross, I'm sorry, I lied, guys. I lied. The last time we had a bullish div on the Stochastic RSI, the last 2 times was actually at all of these bottoms. I just lied to you guys. I didn't mean to lie. Please forgive me. We had a bullish div on the Stochastic weekly RSI here and here. So we're getting another one here. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. As Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a pump right now. Now let's check this out. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pumperoni in queso right now. Wow, look at that. Bitcoin pumping. Let me sniff your sandals. All I want to see is another blue candles. You know, Bitcoin's pumping. Let me sniff your sandals. How do the sandals smell? Guys, there's one thing I hate in life, and that's smelling other people's sandals. The reason why is because they're disgusting. You guys remember those old rubber sandals we all used to wear in the 90s in the summertime? And they would smell so bad, so disgusting. You'd wear them all day out at like the amusement park. Then in the car, you'd take off your sandals and your dad would yell at you because your feet smelled so bad. You know? When Bitcoin's pumping, I want to sniff those sandals. Because even though the smell was bad, there's some kind of strange animalistic desire within me to take another sniff. Yeah, I mean, there's something kind of good about that. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean. Because look, we all like fermented stuff, right? That's why we all like cheese. Why do we like cheese so much? You know what I'm saying? Everyone likes fermented stuff. Y'all love cheese. I see you guys out there eating cheese. It's because deep down, you know that smelly sandals and cheese are the same thing. That's why they call it toe cheese, all right? Now, shout out to J-Boy Bearish. Shout out to Gijo. He says, wash your feet. Trump with the sabotaging boing. Sandals are for the beach or the gym. You know, I'm not a big fan of the sandals in the gym, to be honest with you. I'm more of a fan of going barefoot in the gym. You know? I'm more of a fan of... I like to go barefoot in the gym. I hope you guys do too. You guys like to go barefoot in the gym? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Did we get 1,000 likes in the first half hour? Nah. Dang. Can we get the likes up to the watchers now? Dang. J-Boy Bear says JC smells his toenail clippings. Bro, you're not supposed to share that. Come on. There's one kind of cheese I hate though. Blue cheese. Jason, be aware. RSI 15-minute and Stoke too high for a pump, I feel. Alright, let's check out the 15-minute Stoke on Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really use the Stochastic RSI. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. It looks pretty high, but you know what? Market Cipher looks okay. It looks decent. Looks decent. You know what? We need a Stochastic RSI expert to tell us if it's gonna dump or is it gonna pump. Do we have any Stochastic RSI experts in the house to tell if it's gonna pump or dump?
We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump.
You know, we do have a Stochastic RSI expert in the house. He's just said we're gonna pump, so I gotta take his word for it, honestly. But yeah, we need to at least take this high. And hey, look, here's the thing: we could squeeze up to 103.5 here. Let's check out the order flow. Unzayen. It's not looking the best right now, but hey, you know, it's not looking the best, but you know. Do I believe the bottom is in? Nah, I'll be honest. Maybe a local bottom, and I'm not even opposed to sweeping the highs again. But I think in general the top is in for the I think we're in for about a 50% pullback this coming year. All right. Jason, don't you expect a bull dip on the 4-hour for the bounce? Yeah, if we make another dip, all right. If we make another dip on Bitcoin, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. If we make another dip and we take the low and we bounce from the high volume node around 96, yeah, that could give us a nice bounce with a 4-hour bull dip like this. And that could be the bounce that, you know, takes us back to, you know, that high volume node is actually going to be coming in around right here. So that would give us, we'd be taking the liquidity from June. And then, yeah, we could have a rotation back to the top of the range, right around 116, 117, where we would have our Fibonacci GP, right there, 786, all right? And then, again, this is where that would open up either, you know, if you're long from that high volume node, you got to take some profit here, either open a head short, but I would, you know, take profit or open a head short, and then I would hold it for new all-time highs as well. Because remember, it's all about the trading the sideways ranges, right? So when you're looking for longs at the bottom of the range, you're looking to come back to the top of the range. And that's exactly what this would do. And yes, it could give us a bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. Okay? Bonjour. Bonjour, mi amor. A bullish divergence with some escargot, you know? A nice glass of Cabernet Sauvignon with your filet mignon and your escargot. Now we're keeping it super French up in here, man. Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility, man. Absolutely a possibility. The top is not in. I think the top's in. Like, the top is in my opinion. The top is in. We have a 2-month bearish divergence. Now, like I said, again, in the context of this sideways range here, the top price might not be in. Like, I'm open to something like this, but absolutely, I think the top is in. Like, I think in 2026 we're gonna see a 50% pullback. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, but when you have a 2-month bearish div, I don't know. I have a really hard time being bullish when the 2-month, the month, the 2-week, the week, the 6-day, and the 3-day all look really bearish. I have a hard time being bullish. I feel like we need to have a nice cool off, a nice pullback. I think everybody's been too bullish. And we haven't seen that follow through in the market to support the bullishness. It's just my opinion. All right. I hope I'm right, because I want to buy some Bitcoin low. Can I say, I don't know, are you trying to get me to say a bad word? Tabarnak? Tabarnak? Tarbarnak? Do I think the stock market has any bearing on Bitcoin? Absolutely. Absolutely. No squeeze unless price is above 102. Yeah. Yeah. That's this line, this yellow line on the chart right here. Yeah, from the October 10th low. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. So right now, the idea of looking for a squeeze here is the fact that we've taken the wick, we've taken the low, we've gotten a daily close above, and we come back for a retest. Okay, we come back for a retest, and now we're trying to get that move to the upside. You know, we're trying to get that move to the upside right now. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. All right. We're making a higher high here. All right, we're making a higher high. Let's go to the 1 hour. Come on, baby. Look, the 1 hour. She's trying to do it. We got a green dot on the 1 hour. I'm tempted to sing the pump song. I'm tempted to sing the pump song, baby. Oh, man. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a pump song. All right, let's take a poll, man. Should we do the pump song? Guys, remember, sign up to KCEX if you like the lowest fees. All right, sign up to the Casper Crew VIP Discord if you like the best trading community in the world. All right, JasonCasperTrading.com. Also, sign up to BLOFIN if you like 0.02% market order fees, 0% limit order fees, and a whole bunch of cool prizes. All right, now, let's take a poll in here. Pump song, yes or no? All right, pump song, yes or no? Let's see. Pump song. Tabernacle is the F word in French. Okay, tabernacle is the F word in French. Didn't know that. All right. Tabernacle apparently is the F word in French. That's so funny. I'll have to keep that in mind. Tabernacle. Come on, Jay. Be a little bit more mature. It's hard to be mature, guys. Look, it's really hard for us millennials to be mature. You ever notice that? Millennials are so immature. You see the advertisements that the propaganda machine uses on millennials? They treat us like we're still children. Right? They treat us like we still love Pokemon. And we do! What the heck is wrong with us? We never grew up, man. We got a serious problem. Millennials have a serious problem. But you know what? We're a product of the boomers. We can't help it. It's the boomers. They told us, no, it's just part of being a kid. It's part of being normal. Going out there, you know, doing drugs and acting crazy, you know? It's crazy, man. It's hard not to laugh when tabernacle is the F word in French, you know? You just, the 12-year-old boy comes out. Tabernacle! All right. We took a poll. We're going to do the pump song? Yeah, we're doing the pump song, baby. All right. All right. The pump song. Growing up equals depression. Jason, how many genders are there? Well, as a millennial, I have to tell you, there's like 17 billion genders, all right? Gen Z would say 2. All right, Gen Z, the pendulum swung the other way. All right, Gen Z, they look at the millennials. They're like, man, you guys went way too gay. All right, I'm sorry. All right, Gen Z is like, yeah, I have nothing against gay people. All right, but you millennials, you got way too gay, man. That's too far, too far. They're like, you know what, Gen Z, man. You know, I got some hope for this world. All right, I got some hope for this world with Gen Z. You know, millennials, I have no hope. When I see pictures of millennials on the internet like this, I lose all hope. I lose all hope. But you Gen Z, man, you guys give me hope. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. We'll go to we'll do the pump song. That's what we said we'd do. All right. And we'll do the pump song. I haven't done it in a long time. I got a dry throat. Let's see if it can work. This is the pump song, guaranteed to pump the Bitcoin price every single time. Sometimes it has a delayed effect. You know, check. Check. Alright, where's our... Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2! Is Bitcoin pumping? Yeah, we might have to cancel. Let's see what happens. We might have to cancel. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Must hold this yellow line. Let's go. We have to hold it. We close the 3-minute candle below. We're canceling the pump song, baby. We're holding the line. Come on, Bitcoin. It's working in reverse. Sometimes it has a delayed effect. Israel, Dakuta Kanale 4009. Alright? Yeah, it's just a bull flag, baby. Let's see. Let's see. Hold the line. Hold the line. If we close the 3-minute candle below, we're going to have to cancel the pump song. Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss! There's no stop loss, baby! Come on! Who do you think I am? J. Stop Washington? Here we go. We might have to cancel the pump song, guys. All right? My goodness. We might have to cancel the pump song. My goodness. Well, let's see what happens now. Not looking great, guys. Not at all. Not looking great at all. Oh, looking real bad. I'm scared to refresh the screen because my VPN's not on, and I know I have a stop loss set. Let me just double check here. Hey, yo, hey, Jake Casper, give you the sauce. Don't you know I never trade with a stop loss? Jake Casper about to give the sauce, but you know I never trade with a stop loss. Hey, Jake Casper about to give the sauce, but don't you know I never trade with a stop loss? Yeah, Jake Casper with the sauce. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey yo, Jake Casper coming with the sauce. Don't you know I'm the only trading boss? Cause I never ever ever use a stop loss. Only get found, man, never get lost. Here we come, candles turning green, turning red. Jason Casper got the bars up inside his head. Don't you know we work hard, then we go to bed. Never sleep, just until we're dead. Hey, Jake Casper in the house, about to trade the Bitcoin for the Bitcoin bounce. Baby, let me take a look, let me take a peek. This market cypher B have any uneven cheeks? We want big on the left, nice and juicy, and skinny on the right to round out the booty. Shout out to my sister named Lucy. Look at those butt cheeks, looking kinda juicy. Yeah, we come back to the trade. Are we in profit or are we in pain? Outside in the garden with a spade. Don't you know I'm so dang hungry eating from the trade? I give it to you straight, you know I never give it gay. Jason Casper does the same like every other day. Never trying nothing new any other way, because we come and we're serious here. No, we never play. We're coming back here to the chart. Yellow line like a nice work of art. Got the gas in my belly, know I gotta fart, gotta jump. Next thing you know, looking like a tart with the Trump. Donald Trump coming out the door looking so orange. Eating breakfast, a big bowl of porridge. Coming through the door, my friend George opens it so hard that it rips off the door hinge. Now the candle's turning blue. Bitcoin price about to tell you what she gonna do. Just sit back and relax and I'll take you to the trading school. Jason Casper got the flow, let me show you how we do. On the treadmill, coming to get paid. Looking at the charts just to take the trades. Do analysis, man, we don't play. Coming here, you know we gotta give it straight. Never gay, like the people in the house. Trans-carbon binary with a mouse. Got a pink mustache on my face. Jason Casper, what is that? You're such a disgrace. Got the makeup on the eyes on your face. Did you do that yourself or did you trace the paper from another picture in the school? Sit back, relax, I'll give you the trading rules. Yeah. 101.9, Bitcoin pumping and girl, she looking fine. Take her out to Olive Garden for some wine. Then I'll take her home, girl, I will make you mine. Then we could have some dessert key lime pie. Yeah, got the candles in my eyes. And yeah, you know we eat the pasta. And Jason Casper, mad Jamaican, he's a Rasta. Yeah, we got the channel coming in. Bitcoin about to pump, but where do we begin? Is this a bear flag or a bull flag? Man, I don't know. Hopefully the price don't sag to the lows. Look out below, got the water slide. Listen to my crypto flow, because you know I'm the best dang trader on the whole YouTube. Jason Casper, he ain't no boo. Then we rock it, tippy top it just to sock it. Then we drop it, don't you know we never spot it. Right up to the golden pocket, Then we reverse it. Market makers in the house, let me rehearse it. Cause practice makes perfect, you know. Jason Casper with his expert Bitcoin flow. Here we go, reverse head and shoulder. We got the left, the head, the right, and then we blow. Back to the tippy top. Jason Casper with the Bitcoin price don't stop. Yeah, we rapping on the treadmill like the fool. But sit back, I'ma take you to the free school. Check out the YouTube channel. Jason Casper never wears a flannel. We got a free course on the website, don't you know? YouTube/Jason Casper, you should go and check out the 18-part series to trade. I give it to you every single day. Video 1 to video A. You know we give you the sauce and we never play. Oh man, this beat goes on so long. I don't even know if I can think of the song or the words to say or the lyrics to spit. Jason Casper going so hard, hear my grit. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Sheesh. I think we might get a little bit of a pump here though. Let's turn off this music because you know what? It is gonna give me a copyright strike. Isn't that messed up? You know? It's gonna give me a dang copyright strike. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. We're holding the line. Where's the line? Oh, we're not holding that line. Oh, I thought we were holding this yellow line here. Okay, but look. We're holding this line, all right? A line is a line, baby. A line is a line to stay alive. All right? Yeah, okay. Netflix is dumping? That's so interesting. That's crazy. A sleeveless flannel. Maybe I should give that a shot, J-Boy Bullish. You know how much I hate sleeves. You know? Looks okay on the 15. Let's check out the 15 here. You know, we hold this yellow line here. I still got hope. Let's check out the 15 here. Looks decent on the 15. 24 looks decent. The 45-minute, you know what? 45-minute hidden bull div money flow getting higher could be our ticket. It could be our ticket. File up 20%. Wow. Let's check out Filecoin here. Whoa! That's what I'm talking about, man. Finally. Man, you know what's so funny? I hold Filecoin, and man, I feel good about this one daily candle. You know what? In typical trader degen fashion, who cares that we just lost everything in 1 minute? You know, I feel pretty good that we're up right now 31%. Yeah, we're down 100%, but we're up 30. You know? We're down 100%, but we're up 30. You know? You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, right? Man, what the heck, Filecoin, honestly. I will say this, though. Filecoin, I do hold it, sadly. But this does look nice locally. At least locally, to at least come up to take the highs here and maybe even get a move up to $2. Can you believe a $2 Filecoin will be happy these days? You know, when really, what was I looking for? I was looking for Filecoin to come up to $200, man. All right, we're 1% there, baby. Just 1% a day, I'll be a millionaire in a year. You know? All right, shout out to Liberty and Trust. Can we look at Sapion? Yeah, let's look at Sapion. All right, let's take a quick look at Sapion. Wow, FOMO Sapion, making me want to FOMO. I mean, that's nice. If you're in Sapion, congratulations. Look at that on the day. Make sure to take profit, guys. All right, because this is definitely going to rug. It might not. I don't know what Sapion is. When did it start listing? August? This looks like a pump and dump, man. It looks like somebody colluded to pump this thing. That's really what this looks like. But I would say this, like, technically, like, there is a good technical support here, but this pump seems like crazy. What the heck happened with Sapion? I wonder what happened with Sapion. Alright, so it looks like it's an AI coin here. Yeah, it seems to pump out of nowhere. Like, other AI coins are not pumping, are they? Are other AI coins pumping like Sapion? Are other AI coins pumping right now? Oh, it listed on Binance. Okay. Man. Be careful when things list on Binance. Yeah, be careful, man. When things list on Binance, just be careful. Be careful buying the top. I mean, we did have... Okay, so at least it's not a pump and dump. It's not a pump and dump. We can know it's not a pump and dump. It listed on Binance. But a lot of times when things list on big exchanges like this, it really is. The people who buy the listing are the exit liquidity for the people who've been holding this thing knowing it's going to be on Binance this whole time. Right? So just be careful. Expect a pullback. So this is it listing on Binance right here. So, you know, areas to be aware of would be, you know, you can't really trust this low, but really I would say coming back down to the Fibonacci golden pocket zone, or even like, excuse me, the pump song, man. My throat is really dry today. I was cleaning the chicken coop earlier and I breathed in all this diatomaceous earth. You know, got to clean out that chicken coop. You don't want the poop. Just stick to the coop, man. You know, chicken coop cleaning tip, guys. Listen, there's going to be the desire to just let it sit and let the poop marinate. You know why? Because you read these stupid articles on the internet. Talk about the deep litter method. I just let my chicken coop do the deep litter method. I clean it twice a year. And it turns into beautiful compost for the garden. The deep litter method. Alright. I don't know if that's real or not. But I'll tell you this. The deep litter method, it might give you a tiny little bit of compost. But the amount of cleaning that's going to take, man, oh man. Alright. So the only places I'd be interested in this thing is this. Take out these lows from today, right? And see an actual bounce from the golden pocket, or come down to the Fibonacci 786, 886 area right here and see a bounce out of that 786. That's the only place I'd be interested in Sapion, all right? But be very careful, because when these coins list officially, I'll bet you every single person who was in before the listing is selling right now. Do you know how I know that? Here's how I know that. Because if somebody gave me a coin and all of a sudden, and I knew it was gonna pump, and they said, Jay, look, I'm gonna let you in early, all right? You can put as much money as you want in this coin, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm up, right? I'm up in one day, 1,300%. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell, all right? I'm gonna sell. Here's the thing, and here's the thing. It would be really hard not to sell that, honestly. All right? You have to think that people that get into these coins early, before the listing, the only reason they're getting in is to make money quick when it lists. You know, so be careful. You could come back down for a retest or something. Deep litter sounds like a lazy excuse. It does, doesn't it, man? You know? Is Bitcoin pumping? Yeah. Look, the pump song pumps the Bitcoin price every single time, and clearly, it just has a delayed effect here. But we are holding, we are holding that level there. You know, we're holding that level. We are seeing some bullish market structure. Yeah, we don't have any bullish CVD, and yeah, this is a bear flag, right? And a bearish pattern, right? Yeah, yeah. But look, one of the best skills you can learn in trading is to ignore the obvious. You know, yeah, we got a 2-month bearish divergence, but we're definitely going to 250K by the end of the year. ICP is pumping. Let's check it out. This is the 1 hour. Wow, look at ICP on the daily. Finally, man. Finally. Wow, wow. I have not looked at ICP. Oh my goodness. This. If I, you know, it's a shame that we're seeing macro top signals. If everything happens perfectly, guys, we might see an alt season, and this looks absolutely beautiful right now. ICP has just taken all the liquidity of the 2023 low, the bear market low. We've got a potentially, I mean, depending on how this weekly candle closes, we have a market structure change on the weekly for the first time since December 2023. This looks amazing. Honestly, this looks like we're going to come back to the top of the channel. All right, we got that change in structure. All right, look at this. We got a Gareth-Salloway line too right here. You guys see the Gareth-Salloway line? Right here? We have a Gareth-Salloway line. We have a bullish falling wedge, big fake out, big bullish engulfing. Now what do we look for? Honestly, now we look for a back test. Back test of the trend line. Man, if we get a back test of the trend line, that could be our ticket to a beautiful 100% gain on ICP. And if we break out of this trend line, then we're coming back to $20. You know, we break this trend line, get a little consolidation, a little bull flag action, boom. Target of the wedge, baby. Target of the wedge. That could be a potential 500% gain on ICP. You know? Yeah, look for the Sapion short. Yeah, been holding ICP forever. The Gareth Southway line. I mean, it's true, right? That's the famous Gareth the famous Gareth Salaway line, man. Look, shout out to Gareth Salaway. You know, he's a good investor and all that stuff. It's just funny, you know. It's funny. And look, the dude, he obviously knows his stuff, and he puts his money where his mouth is. All right. And everyone's wrong sometimes, but that was the epic Gareth Salaway meme. It's become a meme, right? You know, it's become a meme, that whole line. Oh man, shout out to Gareth Salaway though. Nothing but respect for Gareth Salaway. In all seriousness, nothing but respect for the guy. Seriously. Did anyone watch Bitcoin BitBoy yesterday? No. You got Gareth for fitness advice? Is that true? Don't breathe diatomaceous earth, Jay. I know, man. Yeah, I know. Look, right now I'm feeling it. Like, I know. I try not to breathe it. I should wear a mask. All right. I should wear an N95 mask to clean the chicken coop, but you know why I don't? You know why I don't wear a mask? It's all Dr. Fauci's fault. It's all Dr. Fauci's fault. You know? All this dang mask wearing nonsense has made me swear off N95s for the rest of my life. You know? But yeah, I try to hold my breath when I go in there. I go in the chicken coop, I take a big breath. I'm scooping the poop out, you know? Off the straw. But, yeah, diatomaceous earth is real bad for you, man. Don't breathe that stuff in. Look, do as I say, not as I do, guys. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay? Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, man. Do as I say, not as I do, Bitcoin. Oh, did you guys know Dick Cheney died? I didn't know Dick Cheney died. My wife and I were wondering, we were wondering why the flags are half-mast. Hello? I'm so sorry, guys. Very important phone call. Alright. Alright, well. Shout out to everyone in chat here. Wow, we still have 900 people. I could just walk away and still have 900 viewers. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, actually. Yeah, back in the day, people had no masks, says the Perry. You know, that's how I feel, too. Like, what would I do if we were, like, in the 1800s, you know? I would have no mask. But, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Any eggs today, bro? Yes, yes. The code word for eggs, guys, is apple. All right, the code word for eggs is apple, A-P-P-L-E. All right, so if you want eggs in the Discord, the code word is apple. All right, I'll put it on the chart here. Apple. There we go. Shout out to Crazy Waffle. Do I think ICP will go over $20? Let's take one last look at ICP here. Insane Clown Posse. Do I think ICP will go over 20 bucks? That's so funny. I was looking at risk to reward back when ICP was up here in November of last year, I guess. Yeah, we were basically looking at this saying, even if we go to the low, the risk to reward is still good for an $81 ICP. Do I think we can go to $20? I'd say this is our first real sign of strength right here. Changing market structure on the weekly. In the event of a back test, I would definitely look for, I would look for a move to 20 bucks. I would look for the breakout of this to 20 bucks, our target of the wedge. Yeah, I really think it could. Depends on a lot of stuff, but yeah, that's a very nice support. Came to the low of the range. There's no reason why we got back to the top of the range. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know. That's so funny. We literally took the low. All right, guys, I'm going to head out, man. God bless everyone in Jesus' name. May the Lord bless you. May he protect you and your families. I do pray everyone's super blessed. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see everybody next time. Peace.